Today we're going to talk about going no contact with your narcissistic family. Yay! So, some of you might not know, in my channel I've had multiple videos discussing how horrible my family dynamic was. And for the longest, it was something that I was kind of like shy to talk about. But then it made me realize that that's what they want you to do, to not talk about it. Because the moment you talk about it, the moment you expose what they're doing, it puts the light on who they truly are. It breaks their mask. They don't have the opportunity to gaslight anymore. They don't have anybody to actually control anymore. Growing up, I was the black sheep. I was the scapegoat. I was always the one that was the problem because I spoke out on issues. I actually pointed out the elephant of the room. But I was raised in a household where everything's swept under the rug. Everything's thrown up in the air and you can't talk about it. You can do whatever you want to the person because you know it's not going to be handled. It's not going to be dealt with. It's just going to be thrown up in the air and act like nothing happens to keep the peace. I was taught to keep the peace, but my peace was the only one that was at expense. I said, fuck the peace. So, being raised in a narcissistic household would make you believe that you have to stomp somebody down to make yourself feel better. Makes you believe that whenever a problem comes about, that you have to argue with the person, not argue together against the problem, if that makes sense. You know, it's just so unfortunate how common narcissistic family dynamics are, but it's the sad truth. It is. And I was basically trained to constantly be in the cycle of their abuse, constantly just be okay with what they're doing. I was set up to be so dependent on them to the point where I couldn't even get a job. I remember for the last 7 months until December, could not get a job. I remember I did get a job, and then randomly the manager just ghosted me. It's almost as if being in the energy of that household plummeted all of my abundance. But the moment I left, things actually started working out. It's not a coincidence. Even the word coincidence doesn't even make sense, but that's a different combo. This conversation is important, and I hold it dear to me because that's been the story of my life. You know, my whole life I was taught, and I I did internalize that I was the problem. I became the monster that they painted me to be. All the anger that I had inside was valid. I didn't know how to express it. They would purposely keep poking at you, poke, 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 till one day you blow up so they could turn around and be like, see, you see how she is? You see the way she is? This is who she was the whole time. But deep down inside, they know they're the ones that are causing everything. They want to tell you, oh, you're the problem, you're this and that. But the moment I left, how come they were blowing up my phone? If I was truly the problem, if me leaving was finally a way for them to finally get peace, wouldn't they be happy that I left? Wouldn't they? Oh, crickets. They love to have you in your they love to have you in their control. Have them have you by the snap of a finger. They want to have access to you. But the moment they don't have access anymore, they don't know what to do. I had my own family call the police on me saying that I was missing. They knew I just got up and left, so how would that be missing? Oh, we want to know where you are. It's none of your business where I'm at. I can finally breathe for the first time in my life. And I was taught to make it seem like I'm being ungrateful because I had food, water, and shelter, as if that's not the bare minimum. As if that's not what you're supposed to give a dog, an animal. But I'm supposed to be grateful for something I'm supposed to have. You're not supposed to applaud a fish for swimming. That's the bare minimum. Everybody everybody makes it seem like cutting off your toxic family members is the worst thing ever. Because previous generations before mine, they were taught to always endure the pain, always endure the mistreatment. Just take it because that's all you have. No, that's a lie. That's a lie that's been brewing up for generations and generations. That's the reason why we got so many generational curses to this day. And I'm the generational curse breaker. I'm breaking all that. Is it easy? No. But I know I have it. I know it's up to me. And I'm not going to dim my light and make myself small just to make other people feel comfortable. Because at the end of the day, you can paint yourself to be as small as you want. People are still not going to be happy. You know why? It's because they want what they can't have. You have a light, they can't take your light. Even if you dim your light, they'll still be unhappy because they're still unhappy they ain't got one. You are damned if you do and damned if you don't. No matter what you do, you make yourself small, they're upset. You make yourself big, they're upset. You might as well just do what you want because it's still going to be upset. You might as well give yourself peace and leave. What's worse than that? Literally, what's worse than that? They taught you to believe that everything is worse outside of them, but the actual truth is everything is worse within that. Hell is within that household. I've been beaten, I've been cursed out. Man, I've been cursed out by my parents like I was a stranger. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even say that to a stranger. You don't do that to your child, regardless of what they done or how you feel that day. Because a narcissist will make you believe all the mistreatment that they did to you, you deserved it, or you made them do that. Accountability is never in their skill set. They can never take accountability for what they done. Because I'm the adult. No, you're a villain. That's what you are. Like what? A villain. They can do whatever they want to you because you're supposed to be grateful that you're even here. Oh, I sacrificed this for you. You chose to have me. You chose to have me and to mistreat me. What should I be grateful for? Oh, but when you were a kid, we got you this and that. As you should. Anywho, it's the bare minimum. Literally the bare minimum. You're supposed to do that. That's crazy. That's almost as if your boss is telling you, you should be glad I'm paying you. That's why I came to the job. You're supposed to pay me. You see how ridiculous that sounds? It's the same thing. More people should think about not having kids. Because everybody having kids, everybody getting married, is the reason why there's so much discourse in the planet. This is why so many people are suffering or having insecurities, not liking what they see in the mirror. It's because they're doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. If you don't even have the emotional intelligence to even consider your feelings, if every time you get sad, you automatically get angry, maybe you shouldn't have kids. Maybe you should heal, figure that out, then think about considering having kids. But until that, stop. Literally stop. Because I see it way too many times. I'll see parents yelling at their kids. Man, the other day, I was people watching, and I hear screaming. I see this grown-ass woman, this mom, screaming at her little kid because the kid can't put on her jacket. I wanted to get out the car and actually smack her, because why are you screaming at a little kid like that? A lady was riding her bike, and she stopped riding her back, and she's like, don't yell at your kid like that. And then she cussed out the lady on the bike. I'm pretty sure the lady on the back did say something like hurtful to her, but as she should, because you shouldn't be screaming at a kid like that. That's the basics. But a narcissistic family will make you believe that you deserve to get yelled at because you couldn't put your jacket on correctly. They always flip the script to make it seem like it's your fault. Literally, when I left, the last text message I ever got from my mother was, you don't have any love for this family. Not, are you okay? Not, what's wrong? Not, can we talk about this? When are you coming home? No, that was the last thing she ever said. And I'm supposed to believe that that woman loved me? What sense does that make? If that's love, I do not want it. Because the love that I have for myself, the love that I give myself is more than enough to trump over whatever that is. That hot mess that is, I want no part of it. For the first time in my life, I can actually feel like myself. Why would I ever rob that from myself again? Hypothetically speaking, God forbid, I'd rather get unalived than go back to that. And I'm so serious. I'm serious. Because if I do go back, it's gonna get worse. I know them. I know how this works. So don't ever make it seem like you choosing yourself is the worst thing. You putting your peace as a priority is something you should be ashamed of, or you should be discouraged to not do that. No. That's what a narcissistic family would do. I'm telling you. You'll finally know peace the moment you leave. And people that convince you that you'll never find peace or that that's something wrong are the same people that are going through worse, but they decide to stick up and just suck it up and go through it because they don't have the strength or the amount of love enough for themselves to leave. So they want to convince you and shame you into doing the same thing because misery loves company. Ever since I told people, all I've been getting was mixed reviews. And most of them were negative. Oh, that's your mom. Oh, that's your dad. But never do they say, that's your kid. You were their kid. How could they ever treat you that way? They adultify the child and infantize the parent. They make the parent seem like they're innocent. They don't know what they're doing. It's their first time living. I hate hearing that. It's my first time too, technically. Well, not really, but you know what I'm trying to say. First time living this lifetime. But yet, I'm the one that's to blame. I'm the one that's supposed to keep the relationship going. It's almost as if society teaches kids that they're a pawn for their happiness, for their parents' happiness. It's almost as if society teaches children that they are their parents' happiness responsibility, if that makes sense. Like they're responsible for keeping their parents happy. Like they're clowns or something, like jesters. No. No. Society will always have a mixed review on what you would do because we're always taught and we're raised in a society to never put yourself first because that's selfish. I would rather be selfish than selfless. And that's how I'm gonna end it off. Stay beautiful, stay kind, stay resilient, stay confident on your decision reflection. Thanks for having time with Tatiana the Optimist. I'm out.